Nakukaribisha kwenye mlima wa Mungu. Uko kule Thika Sarama Estate. Ukipita pale Ananas Mall kwenye barabara ya Garissa, stage inaitwa Kwaheri, Mount Zion Prayer and Retreat Center. Ikiwa unataka chumba chako peke yako, watu wawili, watu wanne na hata kikundi, tunakukaribisha. Vitu vyote ambavyo unatumia kule kwenye mlima tunapeana. Mount Zion Prayer and Retreat Center. Ikiwa ungalipenda nambari ya simu 0797953840. Mount Zion Prayer and Retreat Center. Karibuni. Nakukaribisha kwenye mlima wa Mungu. Uko kule Thika Sarama Estate. Ukipita pale Ananas Mall kwenye barabara ya Garissa, stage inaitwa Kwaheri, Mount Zion Prayer and Retreat Center. Ikiwa unataka chumba chako peke yako, watu wawili, watu wanne na hata kikundi, tunakukaribisha. Vitu vyote ambavyo unatumia kule kwenye mlima tunapeana. Mount Zion Prayer and Retreat Center. Ikiwa ungalipenda nambari ya simu 0797953840. Mount Zion Prayer and Retreat Center. Karibuni.
Karibuni sana watazamaji wa Ezra Christian TV na hasa watazamaji sugu wa chumba cha Mawaidha. Leo tumedunda katika mitambo na tunapenda kuwashukuru sana. Huu ni Bazuu the wise man ambaye mnapenda sana, na pia tukiwa na mshauri na saha mwalimu Eliud. Tunashukuru kwamba mmepata nafasi ya kuweza kujumuika pamoja nasi. Leo tunazungumzia jambo ambalo ni nyeti sana. Na katika mila na desturi za sisi wa Afrika huwa hilo jambo linapofanyika wanaume hawapendi kuzungumzia, kwa hawaileti paruanja, lakini leo tunataka kuzungumzia sababu tuna maksudi. Wanaume huko nje wamekuwa wakipitia hali ngumu sana, na leo tunataka kuwasaidia kadiri ya uwezo wetu, na tuna wingi wa matumaini. Baada tukimalizia show hii yetu ya leo, mume yule ambaye labda yuko katika hiyo njia ama tayari alishaingia katika hiyo njia ataweza kuwa amepata mshawasha na kuona kwamba maisha hayajaishia pale na anaweza kuanza upya. Kwa hivyo karibuni sana katika show yetu. Wale ambao ni wageni, tunaomba kwamba muweze kufinya hiyo notification bell, na pia msubscribe, na pia mtuandikie comments hapo ndio tuweze kujua ni hali gani ambao wanaume wanapitia. Na baadaye kwa show tutaweza kupatiana statistics za wanaume wale ambao wamepitia divorce na wako katika hali ya separation na changamoto zile ambazo wanapitia. Huyu ni Bazuu the wise man. Karibuni sana katika show. Na ningependa kukaribisha pia mshauri na saha Eliud aweze kutusalimia na atuambie hiyo wiki nzima imekuwa namna gani. Karibu.
Asante sana Bazuu. Mimi nimekuwa salama.
Asante.
Yes, it's been about almost 2 weeks now. Yes, so but now we are here. Yeah. Mimi nimekuwa salama and everything has been well. Just in my office and helping people who are going through psychological issues, mental health issues. And so far I think we are doing good. We are doing good because the numbers by which people now with the time they are reaching out, sometimes you can tell that yes, we are doing good because with time, higher numbers, more people are reaching out. They are seeking help. You know, they are openly saying. Yes, they are openly saying, "I'm not okay. I need help." And that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Asante sana, karibu sana kwa show yetu.
Yes.
Na wingi wametumaini kwamba leo lile jambo kidogo walinafichwa, watu wataki kuongea.
Yes.
Lakini sisi tumesema kwamba hatuna uoga. Na tunapenda kukaribisha hawa wanaume. Ndaanza na kusema story. Kuna rafiki yangu mmoja ambaye tulikuwa tumekutana, ilikuwa tumealikwa mahali, nyumba ilikuwa inafunguliwa rafiki yangu. Na baadaye nikaona rafiki yangu kidogo ana hofu hivi. Na kawaida huwa ni mchangamfu. Sasa nikamuita pembeni, faragani, tukaanza kama mambo mengine yanaendelea, ndio akaniambia, unajua juzi nilipotoka kazini nilifika kwa nyumba yangu na kama ni rafiki ule wa karibu, amekuwa akiniambia kwamba wamekuwa wakizozana. Unajua tunaendelea na msururu wa changamoto zile ambazo wanaume wamekuwa katika mahusiano, in relationships. So wamekuwa akiniambia wamekuwa wakizozana, lakini ni ile mambo nadhania tu ni kawaida ya ndoa. Lakini baadaye alikuja akaniambia siku moja alienda akashukishwa na gari ya kazini. Na wakati alipofika kwa nyumba alipata mlango umefungwa. Kubisha akapata mama mtoto. Akafungua tu curtain hivi kumuona ni yeye. Yeye alidhani anaenda kufungua mlango. Mama akakaa kidogo tu, baadaye akarudi akatupa funguo kwa dirisha. Akamtupia funguo na akamwambia, mimi tumemalizana na wewe. Wewe ondoka uende. Mzee akajaribu kuongea, mama akasema hapana, wewe enda.
Funguo
amerushiwa za gari.
No, za gari.
Alikuwa na gari. Hapana, si za nyumba, ni za gari. Sasa kaambia, wewe hauna chako hapa. Wewe chukua gari ujipange. Akajaribu kuleta watu kuongea naye, haikuwezekana. Sasa ikakuwa ndio mwanzo wa separation. Na baada ya hiyo separation ilija ikafika mahali ambapo sasa walienda kotini na talaka ambao ni divorce. Ilianzia hapo. Na hadi mambo ambayo tunazungumzia, na hilo jambo aliniambia sababu mimi ni rafiki wa karibu. Na nimebana jina lake. Lakini nasisema tu hii sababu, nasema sababu yeye he has already moved on. Sababu baadaye alirudi akapata mke mwingine na wakafanya harusi rasmi. Na sasa yeye ana furaha zake, he has started it. And that is the bouncing back ambao tungependa wanaume baada ya hii show uweze kuelewa kwamba ndio hili jambo lina unyanyapaa. There is stigma, a lot of stigma. Sababu unaonekana kama wewe ni mume ambaye hujatosha mboga. Ni mume ambaye ni weak. Na mambo kama hayo. Lakini tungependa tuambie mwanaume huyu ambaye anatutizama kwamba you are not weak. But you need to seek help. Kwa hivyo nataka kurejea kwako ili tuweze kuanza show. Nimepeana mfano. Na kama kuna mwanaume ama unajua mwanaume ambaye anapitia mambo kama haya, ni vizuri pia uweze kushare hii na yeye ili pia aweze atapata mawili matatu ambayo ataweza kujifunza. Karibu.
Kweli. Asante sana.
Na labda ungeanza na kupeana statistics ndio watu wajue kwamba hili ni jambo ambalo limekita mizizi na limekithiri katika familia zetu.
So
ama jamii yetu.
Katika jamii. Wakati ambapo tunaongea kuhusu divorce and separation. That's something that I know that it's very common to most people. They know what separation is, they know what divorce is. Only that most of the times separation usually comes first. Even when you go to a lawyer, when you want to process a divorce, most of the times they will ask you, now, have you first considered a separation?
Yes, bado mtengane kwa muda.
Yes, and you guys, first of all take a break.
Labda ni ile hali ya hasira.
Yes, ama hiyo kuzoeana.
So sababu they always say familiarity breeds contempt.
Exactly.
Ama mazoea huleta madharau.
Yes. So now separation can
unampa muda.
Yes, or now divorce can follow. Or there can be divorce without even the separation. Or the separation itself can take too long and become like it's a divorce. So now there are so many marriages, especially these days, that are breaking. So many of them. The numbers of the marriages that are breaking, actually, here in Kenya, the reported cases that you find that about one, that's one. We can say about 1.5, because it's not yet 2. About 1.5 of the marriages usually break. 1 in 3. 1 in 3 marriages. That is to say, like 100 people who are going to get married today, 30 marriages are not going to work. 30 are not going to work. 70 will work. 30 will not. And those are the only reported statistics.
Ni wale ambao si waoga.
Yes, yes, the marriages that break and then people are here. And these are the marriages. We're not talking about the marriages like the come we stay, which no one knows that they happened, meaning that no one even knows that it ended, because we never knew that it was happening. So it just ended before we knew it was happening.
Yeah.
So if we were to bring in even the statistics of all the marriages, like even two guys who came out, who woke up today and they said, let us give it a try. And they started to stay together like married couple, like what now we call cohabitation. They started living together. If you are to count that,
yes,
we would even say, like, in every 5 marriages, 6 are breaking up. In every 5 marriages that are happening today, 6 are breaking up because there's one which broke up even before it got into marriage. So most marriages and relationships are not working today. So when you look at now how it is affecting men, out of the rate of the divorce that has risen with over 35% listenership. Yes, the reported cases of divorce has increased with 35%, and out of all the divorces that happen, 65% of men usually report that they have experienced emotional distress, and anything that has to do. Now, after either the separation or the divorce, it can be either. But 65% of men report that they have experienced a level of emotional distress, and also psychological, because emotional comes with the psychological distress. So at the same time, only 18% of these 65% of men who report that they are experiencing some emotional issues or distress, only 18% actually go into, for example, now I have an office, only 18% are going to come into my office and tell me, now, Eliud, I'm going through this, I need help with this, I need help with that. So a very small number of men gets to seek help, a very small number. So men just go through stuff and they keep the stuff to themselves. And that's connected to factors that we are going to look at, I think, in the next stage. Because we need to ask ourselves, why are these men not asking for help? And in most cases, a woman, even before the separation, a woman has already healed from the separation before it happens. Because for a woman, for a man, a separation can be a one-day event, like what has happened with our brother, the example you have given. So the guy left the house in the morning with a very nice kiss, with a very nice goodbye kiss, have a good day babe, tutaonana jioni, nikuchiletea nini? Niletea smoky, sawa, takuletea smoky. So the guy is coming back home with a smoky and a bunch of flowers, and now he is told, now actually we divorced. The moment you left in the morning, that's how we divorced. So to most men, divorce and separation, most of them it catches them by surprise. He didn't see it coming. It just happened. He is like, it's news to him. Like some of them even get news and they are like, we did it last month. What? We separated last month. I had no idea. So to the divorce. Mimi nilizani umeenda ushago. Uliniambia umeenda kutembelea mom for 3 weeks. And then 3 weeks later when you are supposed to come back, that's when you are calling me. By the way, unajua tuli divorce ama unajua tuli separate? I did not have any idea. For that, those 3 months I've been very faithful thinking that I have a wife, So most men are caught by this, are caught in this cycle of separation and divorce, most of the times by surprise. They didn't see it coming. They didn't know it was to that point. But for a woman, they have seen it coming. If they have not seen it coming, they have been planning it for a very long time.
Mwanaume, yes, mara nyingi haelewi ama anafanya tuko kutuka.
Yes.
Kama mfano hata kuna nikitengeneza, wakati tulikuwa natengeneza issue backstage, nilipewa hadithi ya jamaa moja wa Nduthi pande ya Rwaka. Na huyo yeye tu anangangana na kazi kuja jioni baada ya miaka 11.
11 years.
Alifika kwa nyumba akapata imesafishwa kila kitu,
hakuna kitu.
Sasa nikaa hapo anajiuliza itakuwaje? Usingizi apati, hakuli. Ndio mambo ambayo umesema emotional stress ambayo inapata wanaume. But tunataka kuambia wanaume kwamba ndio hayo mambo yamefanyika. Na tayari yakishafanyika ni kama vile msemo wa Kiswahili unasema kwamba maziwa yakimwagika hayazoleki. Kwa hivyo lazima ushike mfano huu ambao unasema yaliyopita si ndwele, tugange yajayo. Karibu.
Kweli kabisa. So the point I was saying is that most women usually see it coming, and before it happens, they have already healed in the crime scene. Hiyo ndio title imepewa. These days they have said that you are healing in the crime scene. So most women have healed in the crime scene. So by the time the divorce or the separation is actually happening to the woman, it happened.
Yeah.
It already happened. She has been healing all through. Every morning she wake up, akienda kwa duka anapatana na mama mwenzake, anamwambia sasa mimi hata venye naona tukidivorce, anaambia usijali nini, anatulizwa. So every morning anapata therapy 5 minutes every day, anapata therapy from the fellow women. And then by the time it is coming to happen, this lady, majority of them, not all of them, but majority of them, they have already healed. They are okay with it. But for the man, it's hitting him.
Sasa hiyo ni mpata tu ghafla.
Sasa ndio inamgonga vizuri sasa. It's actually happening. And that's why most of the times men get affected by divorce and separation more than women. Only that men don't talk about it. They don't show it.
Vile ambavyo umezungumzia, sijui kama sina takwimu za kutosha. Lakini nakisia kwamba labda hii femicide inaanzia na mambo kama hayo.
Yes.
Mwanaume anaona hapana. Siwezi gojea separation. Hii inaimaliza tu sasa hivi.
Yes.
Unajua kuna wanaume wako hivyo. Sijui hatujapata takwimu kabisa. Lakini kuna uwezekano kuwa mwanaume ndio ameishi na sasa zile huyu anaanza labda anajaribu kumtishia. Threatening. Anaona hapana. Hii kama mtu ataenda, hapana, siwezi kaa peke yangu. Hiyo effect, na ndio unaona pia nadhania labda nikukumbusha kwamba pia majority ya suicides ni effects za hizo separation na divorce. Labda ungezungumzia kuhusu hiyo jambo, nini hasa hufanya mwanaume anafika katika hiyo hali? Alafu ndio tutaenda sasa kuhusu mila na desturi. Sababu hizo huchangia pakubwa, na ndio unaona wanaume, na ndio sababu hata wanaogopa kuongea. Unajua ukiongea unaonekana hai, hata mtu anaweza kuambia wewe ni mwanaume aina gani, mwanamke anaweza kukushinda namna gani. Mwingine ndio dawa. Yes. Karibu.
Asante. So when we are talking about the suicide that now is related to the divorce and separation. Let me tell you something about a man, Bazuu. When a man meets a woman, most men, they attach their future to the woman. So when the man is with that woman, to him,
ana matarajio mengi sana.
Yes. So he has plans. He has worked the next 40-50 years with this woman in his mind. So he has planned, I'm going to do this. We are going to set up this business. After this time, my wife is going to do this. So he has the plan in his mind. So he has already planned his whole life with this woman. The moment now, the woman now tries to walk out of the picture, to the man, that is a big threat, because now my future is gone. The plans that I had of the things that I wanted to achieve and accomplish with her for the rest of my life, they are gone. So meaning that I don't have a future anymore. Instead of living a life, an empty life, which doesn't have a meaning, which doesn't have a purpose, because I had attached my purpose to the woman and now she is gone.
And she's gone.
So instead of living an empty life, we would all rather die.
Na ndio hiyo sasa.
That's femicide.
Mambo ya kuua wakina mama na tena pia mwanaume kujitia kitani.
Exactly. So to most people it usually root from there. That because I cannot live an empty life, and some adds to the equation or to that statement and say, I cannot let you do what you have done to me to another man. I will never let you break another man's heart. Some will say it is either have you or no one is going to have you. You see? And now this idea of it is either I have you or no one will ever have you, now that makes the man think of killing the woman, even the kids, if there are kids in the picture. And by the end of the day, because now he is not willing to spend the rest of his life in jail, having killed, having suffered heartbreak, having an empty life, so I would rather also die. And that's now the cause of the femicide.
Asante mshauri. Na mtazamaji, leo tunazungumzia kuhusu effects of divorce and separation to men na overcoming them. Tunataka tu mwanaume aweze kuzikiuka, sababu mwanaume ni kiumbe ambacho ni cha dhamana sana katika jamii, na wakati wanaume wanapungua ni hatari kubwa sana katika jamii. Na ndio leo tunataka kuweza kuhamasisha na kuwarai waweze kuelewa kwamba mambo haya yanapofanyika, kama vile mshauri nasaha amesema kwamba mwanaume ameweka imani na tumaini yake yote kwa mke wake. Na ndio kwa lugha zingine unasikia mama anasema, anajishika 6 anasema huku sitanyolewa mvi. Kana huko dike jero bue. Sasa hilo jambo linapogonga mwanaume inamtia hofu. Na anapotia hofu mwanaume, wakati hisia zake za uume zikipunguka kidogo, anakuwa mnyama. Na ndio unaona anajitia kitanzi na anafanya. Kwa hivyo mume ambaye anatutizama pale, usije ukajitia kitanzi. Sisi tuko hapa tukupatie a new beginning, a way to bounce back. Na narejea kwa mshauri nasaha Eliud. Na ningependa uzungumzie wale ambao wanatutizama na waelezee mambo yale ambayo yanafanya wanaume wasije wakaongea. Vitu kama stigma, unyanyapaa, vitu kama kuonekana kana kwamba jamii, unajua imeelewa, iko na stereotypes. Wanajua kwamba mwanaume akiwa unyume kuwa kila saa ukiambiwa kuwa mwanaume, haya mambo yafanyikagi hivi, this is the way to do it. Na mambo yamebadilika siku hizi. Uume si kuonyeshana kwamba uko na shida na unanyamazia shida na inakuadhiri. Ni vyema uweze kuzungumza, na sasa tuna njia ya kutatua na iweze kutatuliwa. Karibu.
All right. So from the beginning, it's very important for us to note this fact that divorce is not designed to benefit a man in any way. Not in any way. And especially a good man. Divorce is meant and designed to hurt a good man. The only guy who gets something from a divorce is the guy who was in a toxic relationship with a woman, and now she gets to separate with a woman, and now she gets his peace of mind back. That is the only guy who gets to benefit from a divorce. But a divorce, 99.9%, when it comes to divorce, a man is losing something. He is losing the kids, access to the kids. He is losing access to
mali upotea.
Yes, because now the finances, and he is mostly the one who has worked hard for that. He has, and maybe even before the woman came in the picture, this guy had almost everything that he has right now. But it has to be maybe split into two, and most of the times not into two, because the woman is like, I'm the one who is going with the kids, so I need a bigger share. And most of the times, you find a man who was maybe even a millionaire, a guy who had it all, a guy who had life figured out, and just after divorce or separation, he is now in the streets. So the design of a divorce is there to benefit women and not a man. So there are other social factors now bringing this into the picture, because when a man has suffered the divorce or the separation now, there are things that he feels like now, this is the divorce itself, the nature of divorce is the creation from the society. This is something that the society has created. So you want to tell me that the society, which has created a weapon called divorce to a man, which has now destroyed me to this level, now you want me to go back to the same society which has created the weapon to tell them that the weapon which they have created to hurt me has actually hurt me, and I want help from them. And then a man is left alone, he has no one to talk to. Because there's no way I'll go to talk to the person who intentionally decided to hurt me with something. So I would rather keep it to myself. So there's the stereotypes, and we can start with the stereotypes, whereby a man is seen as a strong person who should not get hurt. He's made of metal, and so nothing should penetrate and hurt him, because he is not made of flesh and blood. So that is the picture that every member of the society has of who a man is. But now, in this same stereotyping, you still find the stigma now. In the stereotyping, you find the stigma. Because a man is stigmatized to talk. A man is silenced. Long before a man says, I need help, there's already a voice within him telling him, shut up. Shut up. Yes, shut up. Because that's how he has been brought up.
growing up, every stage of his life, shut up. Every stage of his life, shut up. He tries to raise his voice. He tries to cry, shut up. He tries to say this woman is hurting me, even in school. You see a child, and this is something that I've come to realize, especially these days, in most primary schools, and this now they are called comprehensive schools. They're comprehensive schools. The one learning all the way to grade 9.
Yes.
So boys are really suffering because these days especially, boys are the ones who are being chased by the girls. Because the girls in the schools now, those who are in grade 6, 7, 8, 9, they have already sexually matured.
True.
Because they are in their maybe hao ni watoto wenye wako 13, 12 there, around 12, 13 years. So a girl right now who is 13, 12 years, sexually, emotionally, they have matured. And even psychologically, they have matured.
Yes.
So a boy of the same age has not matured yet to the level of the girl. And so the girl is more mature, and though now they are approaching the men, the boys now.
Yes, yeah.
A boy dares to go home and tell the mother that, mom, kuna msichana shuleni ananibuli ama ananisubua ama ananikatia. You know, there's a boy talking.
Yeah. Kuna
msichana ananisubua shuleni. So the mother is going to ask him, where shida yako ni gani wewe? Are you okay? You are supposed to be a man. Unaona? Hiyo ni kitu mzuri actually. Most parents, that's what they will say. That's good, that's amazing. Kama unapiganua na wasichana, kama wasichana ndio wanakutafuta, ni kumaanisha wewe ni dume. You know? Yes, hapa kuna dume. So instead of the mother or now the parent, even the father, instead of now the adults getting into the shoes of this boy,
yes,
and understanding that from where he stands, there's nothing good about a girl waiting for me kwa mlango ananiambia nimnguze. No, there's nothing good about that. There's nothing good about the girl waiting for me somewhere kwa kona jioni tukienda kulala kwa kona ya dormitory pale huwa anapita ananiambia nimhage na nimkiss cha nguvu. There's nothing good that to the boy. But to the adult it sounds like a good thing, but to the boy it's not. So
sababu tayari kijana hajapata matayarisho.
Exactly. So if now from that age, when you tell people something that is bothering you, they tell you it's a good thing. When you tell other people something that is hurting you, they laugh at you, and they tell you that's a good thing, it should happen, then you learn how to keep quiet. So now the society with the stereotyping and the stigmatizing, the boy is silenced.
Yeah.
We are also looking at religion now.
Religion
also is playing a very big factor or a very big role.
Maandiko yanakukataza talaka. Hata mwenyewe maandiko yanasema Mungu hapendi talaka.
Yes, the Bible says.
Inamaanisha kwamba kae tu hivyo hivyo. Uvumilie
hali
yako.
Mwanaume anachapwa, endelea kuchapwa. Mungu anashukia nini? Nikushukia ama nikuchukia. Mungu anachukia divorce. So mwanaume unanyoroshwa, endelea kunyoroshwa. She is cheating, continue being there. You know, she will stop, continue praying for her. You know, keep praying for her, and then God is going to change her. And before God change her, you are already dead. Before actually God succeeds to changing her, you are dead, long gone. If you are not dead, you are into addictions. You see, a lot has happened to you. So religion is also silencing men. Instead of telling men that you don't have to stay in an abusive relationship, in an abusive marriage, simply because God hates divorce. And if you do something that God hates, definitely you're also going to hate the person doing what he hates. You know? So that means that I don't want God to hate me, and so I want to please God by getting hurt. That doesn't look like something I should subscribe to personally. Because I don't understand why you should stay somewhere, and then what is chaining you there is religion. You need to separate religion with reality. Like, this is happening, I'm getting hurt, and really every single day I'm getting hurt, and now the only way out is getting out of this relationship. And when you get out of that relationship, again, because the person most likely you are going to go to is your religious leader.
Yes.
And the moment you knock into his office, he is like, karibu sana Mkristo mwenzangu. Okay, nikusaidia aje? Unajua mimi nataka kuseparate na bibi yangu. Matthew, God hates divorce. Please go back, kiss your wife, continue getting hurt. You know? So the church now also need to come up and tell these guys that you don't have to stay somewhere you are dying in installments. God would rather have you serve him a little bit longer than stay there and die. But men need to be reminded every single day that it's okay for a man to be in an abusive relationship and you are the victim. You don't have to be the perpetrator all the time. You are the victim. So speak. If you are hurting because of a separation or a divorce, it's okay to speak out. Because you are not a stone. We expect you to feel something. We expect you to psychologically go through something. So religion at the same time is also now bringing in yes, it's contributing to now men not speaking out. The same community now, society.
Ni kidogo nikusitize na sababu umezungumzia kuhusu makanisa ama vile maandiko yenyewe tayari inasema kwamba Mungu hapendi divorce, talaka na pia anapenda watu waendelee kukaa katika mahusiano. Lakini sasa kuna watu ndio wanaenda kanisani. Unaona mtu mke na mke, mume na mke. Lakini kwa kanisa wanaonekana wako pamoja. Lakini wakiingia kwa nyumba, kila mtu ana chumba chake.
Yes.
Tayari wametengana, they already separated. Lakini sababu kanisa inasukuma.
Bibi ndiye alisoma somo la kwanza, bwana akasoma somo la pili. Lakini kwa nyumba hakuna kitu wanafanya pamoja.
Na hiyo ndio jambo, hilo ni mambo ambao tunazungumzia hapa na ni vyema mwanaume aweze kwanza, hasa akiwa yeye ndio ambaye ndio mlalamishi ama ndio mambo yako mazito kwake, ni vyema aweze kuzungumzia. Sababu kadiri ya vile ambavyo anajizoesha ndivyo naye pia anaendelea kusononeka na pia kupata magonjwa. Kwa hivyo show yetu ya leo, ule mtu ambaye anatutizama na labda unapitia hali hiyo kama hiyo, kuna watu already pia hata washafanya divorce, hata wajaenda kwa mchungaji. Walishafanya sababu wanaishi hata tu Wakristo wengine ndio wanaongea nyuma. Wanasema unajua hao hata siku hizi waishi pamoja. Ni vyema uweze kuelewa kwamba there's another baby, there's a beginning unaweza pata. Yes. Usije ukakaa tu mahali pale. Hii show ni kuweza kukuambia kwamba there's still another life. Usione kana kwamba umefika mwisho. Na you can be able to bring yourself back na uendelee na maisha. Karibu. Stereotype nyingine ambao ungezungumzia ni vyema tuweze kuzungumzia.
The society now has a definition of who a man is and who a man should be. And I always tell men that the only day that as a man you are going to have peace in his life is when you wake up one morning and decide that you are not going to live up to the definition of who a man is and who a man should be, according to your mother, according to your father, according to your society. Now that is the only day that you'll be free. The day when you wake up and say, the society says a man should do this, but according to my situation right now, what should I do? And this happens mostly to men who are going through financial, let me just touch a little bit, to men who are going through financial crisis. Because as a man in the society, you're expected to provide for your family. You're expected to take care of your wife. You're expected to take care of your kids. You're expected to take care of everything. And so if financially you are not in a position to do that. Yes, and it's not intentional. It's not maksudi. Yes, kimekuramba tu. Wenye huwa kinaramba wanaume. So life has just happened. And so you feel this pressure of the societal voice telling you, if you don't do that, you are not a man enough. If you are not doing that, we question your manhood. So the same thing is even going to happen to the wife. The wife is actually going to remind you from time to time. Wanaume wengine wakifanya hivi wewe na huko huko unafanya nini? You know? So now that societal pressure now, which is coming from the definition of the society of who a man should be. Yes. Now that pressure is making men to suffer even more and not to speak out. Because now, every time you try to speak out, there's a voice behind your mind. Just when you're about to say, I'm hurting, the society tells you, if you say you are hurting, if you see your tears, yes, if you see your tears, you are weak. You are weak, and we don't have a space for weak men in the society. So then now we come in and we tell men that strength, you know, when you shed tears, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. Yeah. But now the society has put it like it's a sign of weakness. And now we have subscribed to that. Men should cry when they want. Men should ask for help when they want. Men should get what they want without letting any voice, any narrative, any concept, any definition, any meaning to stop them. So now the society now has created all this scenario, or this now big scenario that we are looking at, where men now are suffering in emotional distress, divorce and separation, but they cannot talk.
Asante sana mshauri na saa. Leo show imewaka moto. Naona Joseph Kimani Mwangi ametuambia he's tuned in, na hajatuambia ni wapi. Bwana Mwangi, tuambie unatuonea wapi. Pia naona Pastor Grace, asante sana kwa kuweza kutufuata. Wewe ni mtazamaji wa Chumba cha Mawaidha sugu. Na pia Eliud wa Kigosho anatuambia, anauliza Bazuu, how are you? I am fine. Leo show iko lit kabisa. Tunazungumzia kuhusu wanaume. Na nataka tu I want to put a disclaimer kwamba we are not here to just make it easy for men kuacha tu ndoa. Tunazungumzia wale wamepitia hali ngumu. We gave statistics. Mshauri na saa alipeana statistics ama takwimu, na akasema out of 3 urban weddings, ndoa zile ambazo zimefanyika katika miji, wacha mashambani, katika miji, ndoa 3, moja inaishia watu wamepeana talaka. Na tunazungumzia hilo jambo sababu ukiona mwanaume anataliki mwanamke, huyo mwanaume amepitia hali ngumu sana. Na ndio wanaume hao ndio tunataka tuwazungumzia na kuambia kwamba maisha haijaishia pale. There's still another way you can be able to come. Let the setback be a setup ya maisha ambao tunaendelea. Na ndio tunazungumzia leo na mshauri na saha, na nashukuru hawa ambao wametupatia feedback. Endeleeni kutupatia feedback na pia kushare na wenzenu. Hii show itaweza kusaidia mwanaume mmoja ama wawili ama watatu ama 10 waweze kujua kwamba maisha hajaisha. There's still life after divorce. Karibu.
Naam.
Umezungumzia kuhusu stereotypes. Sasa
Yes.
Labda na stereotypes umezungumzia mambo matatu. Ya kwanza ni the religion, social stereotypes, ya kwamba one is religion, na ile kwamba maandiko inasema God hates divorce. Hiyo inafanya mwanaume aendelee tu kukaa katika stereotype, katika separation na divorce, akisononeka na ile hali anaweza kuendelea. Ya pili ni vile jamii inasema kwamba mwanaume is not weak, hatakikani alie, lakini anafaa kuelewa kwamba mume ni kiumbe pia na anahisia. Kwa hivyo mambo kama haya yanapofanyika, na ulipeana mfano mzuri kwamba wakati mume anaingia katika ndoa, tumaini na imani yake yote anaweka kwa mke. Anajua kwamba huyu mke ni maoa, ni mke ambaye ndakaa kufa kupona. Lakini wakati anapoona ameenda, na inatokea mwanaume haionagi, inatokea tu ghafla binvu, inamuacha kama ako katika hiyo hali ya kusononeka sana. Na jambo la tatu ni kwamba wengi wetu hatujui, mara mingi tunapoteza jamii. Unapata mwanamke ndio mara mingi anaonekana kama kiume dhaifu. Sasa unapata watoto wale ambao wangekupatia afueni kidogo hawako. Mali yako pia inapotea na vitu kama hivyo. Kwa hivyo tunaambia wanaume waweze kuelewa kwamba there is another way we can be able to get over that. Karibu. Labda umalizie the social factor ingine ya mwisho.
The social factors. So when also we look at the system, the laws, the Sharia now, the law. So when we look at the law at the same time also, it also limits men from talking. Because remember what I mentioned, that the law makes officiates the divorce happening. You know, they sit down and then they rule that this divorce should happen like this, should happen like that. So these laws that are set relating to divorce, as I mentioned, they are a weapon which is designed to hurt men. And most of the time, the chances that a man is going to get justice from a court of law in relation to divorce, those chances are way too low, way too low. I think maybe even out of 100 men who go seeking justice in matters divorce in the court of law, maybe only 2 out of 100 will be granted their rights, or they will benefit from that. So the law at the same time also now puts a barrier for men to seek help. Because the very first you step into a court of law, and the divorce papers have been tabled, or the motion has been tabled that it is divorce.
Yeah.
When the woman starts talking, everybody keeps quiet. When you start talking, the nani jamaa amekaa pale mbele akiwa amevalia kitu kwa kichwa. The judge sasa already ashaanza ku prepare mkono. Hata kama hajaoga bado ameanza kufanya mkono hivi. Anauliza utamaliza kuongea saa ngapi? Aseme what do they say?
Nimesahau hiyo jina.
Yes, whatever asemi done, lakini whatever they are going, so yeah, already the wife has already spoken, and what there's enough evidence to show that you have been hurting this woman. So we are waiting for you to finish talking so that we can give her everything she is demanding and everything that she is asking for. So the law at the same time also brings a barrier, because number one, when as a man you've gone to the court of law and everything has been taken away from you, the kids, even the resources. You don't even have enough resources to go out there and pay someone for some therapy sessions. And again, as a man, you don't have even leave alone now the confidence to seek for help. The confidence to seek for pro bono help.
Upate mshauri na
saa mwenye atakwambia nao mimi
sitakulipisha, lakini wewe ukishatulia ukue sawa, basi tutazungumza baadaye.
You see now? So this guy has now been messed up, that all his resources has been taken away. And now he doesn't even have enough resources to go out there and seek proper help or get the help that he is looking for. So the court of law also brings a barrier. The law, if you look at what is stipulated in those laws that allows the divorce, the man is getting hurt all the way. So those are some of the factors that I can say that now they contribute into making man to not seek help. We have the religion, we have the stereotyping, we have the stigma, we have the definition of who a man should be in the society, and now we have the law.
Asante.
Yes.
Asante mshauri nasaha, umeweza kukadiria na kuratibu ile mambo ambayo yanafanya mwanaume aweze kusalia katika hiyo hali ya kusononeka na kujitoa ili aweze kuzungumza, na takwimu tayari zinaonyeshana kwamba, lakini hii show ni mojawapo ya show ambazo zinataka wewe uweze kuongea, na tungependa uweze kuandika hapo kama wewe ni mmoja ambao ulipitia hiyo hali. Najua kuna watu tunazungumzia pale. Kama ulipitia hiyo hali, tuandikie, alafu tuweze kupeana ushuhuda. Pia hata uweze kupeana, na tunaweza hata kualika kwa show uweze kupatia mwanaume ambaye anapitia hiyo hali na uweze kumwambia ulifanya vipi ndio ukaendelea. Wakati tulipoanza show nilipeana rafiki ambaye alipitia hiyo hali. Na napenda kushukuru Mungu kwamba he was able to get over it. Na sasa ako katika ndoa nyingine, na ndoa ambayo inamletea furaha na ameanza maisha upya. Napenda sasa nirejee kwako. Ulizungumzia kuhusu emotional distress. Ningependa uzungumzie hizo emotional distress na how practically mwanaume huyo anaweza toka. Unaweza zungumzia kama njia tatu mwanaume huyo, labda hata si labda tunazungumzia yule ambaye yuko katika hiyo hali na anashindwa, na labda hata amekuwa mgonjwa, amepata ugonjwa ya kisukari sababu ya kusongwa na mawazo, na mwingine hata labda hata anafikiria aende ajitie kitanzi. Mwingine hata anafikiria mke leo akija leo mambo inaisha. Hebu mzungumzie, mwambie.
All right. So when we are looking at
kwamba mwisho haujafika.
Yes.
Ndio mwanzo unaanza.
Exactly. It's always a beginning. And most men look at the divorce as the end. But it's always a beginning. Most of the times, even not just even men who are going through divorce, most people in life, when you're going to the end of one thing, you focus so much on the end of the thing and not into you don't put any focus into the new thing that is coming in. Because an end to one thing is a beginning to the next. But most often, we pay too much attention to the end and not the beginning of the other. And so we keep ourselves hooked and just chained into what has already happened, instead of now trying to see what is happening and what is about to happen, so that we can actually appreciate that, whatever that's about to happen. So a man going through divorce, you've not come to the end. You've just come to another new beginning. another new start of your life. So most men, the reason why they see it as an end, as I had mentioned, is because you had attached your future and your identity to the family. Let me now bring into the family, not just the wife, but now to the family itself. And most of the times, when there is separation, there's nothing that the man wants from the family other than mostly the kids. Every time that you talk to a man, and the man is like, I went through divorce, and you ask him now, what hurts you the most about the divorce? I don't get to see my kids. I don't get to be there for my kids. I don't get to support them. I don't get to hear them. I don't get to pray with them. I don't get to be present physically in their lives as I would have wanted to be. Because in most cases, and even those men who are in relationships right now, or marriages, a woman will come with a list, 3 kilometers long, of the things that she wants from the man. Most of the times. A very big list. I want this, I want validation, I want security, I want resources, I want you to help me with washing the babies, changing them diapers, nini kwa kitchen, nini unisugue mgogo, unifanyie nini, unipeleke out, dinner, nini. A very big one. But most men, the only thing they want is just give me the respect. I am good to go. I'll handle the rest by myself.
True.
Unless now, a man who is seeking validation, a man who is seeking these other things from a woman, there is something that is making them to do that. Most of the times, it has to do with growing up, it has to do with upbringing. That now this man is looking for something from the woman, something that he never received while growing up. But a man who has grown up in an environment where everything he needed at whatever stage of development he got, there's no attachment. The only thing he wants from the woman, just give me respect. Everything else, yes. Because even what men want is respect. I don't want you to tell me you love me. I don't want you to call me constantly for what? Just give me the respect. I'm good to go. And so when now the divorce happens, the only thing that the man is going to lose is mostly the kids, if there are kids in the picture. And any other man now who is going to lose anything else, it is now coming from the attachment that he had to the family, or to the wife, or to the whole scenario, maybe the things he have lost, the money, and all that. So now, the emotional stress for a man mostly come from the kids. Most of the times. If it is coming from the woman, then you ask him now, why did you get attached that closely, too much to a man? Because the society has not built a man to get attached to a woman. No.
True.
The man has been structured, the man has been built to not attach emotionally, somehow physically because of sex, but emotionally not as much. So the emotional heart that usually comes through for men is, I did everything for her, I did my best, I did everything that I could, but by the end of the day, this happened.
This has happened.
I can't even imagine that I married that kind of a person for all those years, as merciless as she looks. And most of the times, and I don't think there's a man who ever even gets an apology from a woman, because women, most of the times, they don't take part, they don't take responsibility for they don't take any responsibility for the breaking of the relationship. Really? It's always the man. The woman says, no, you never did this. You never gave me validation. You are never there for me. You never gave me time. Time. Where was the money supposed to come from? You know? So exactly. And now that even takes us back to the statistics. Because you come to find that we said that right now we cannot even talk about one marriage working in 3. We have now to expand the statistics so that now the reality can fit.
True.
Let's now talk about 10. Out of 10 marriages, now around 4 will not work. Now the remaining 6, about 4 of them again, after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, there's not a marriage anymore. It's now roommates. You are only sharing the house. Yes, you are only sharing the house. Yes, you are sharing the kitchen. Most of the times unapata you are just sharing the utensils. Kila mtu anakuja anapika chakula yake, anaenda anakaa chini anakula. Mwingine naye anaachua kitchen, anakuja anapika. Bedroom kila mtu ako na yake. You know?
Yeah.
So out of most marriages, even the ones that we are saying, most of them may not lead to divorce.
Yes.
But the marriage ended long time ago.
Yeah.
These guys have just been living in the same house, but they are not together. So
Ni jambo la hatari sana.
yes, so the emotional stress, the emotional distress is now coming from that situation because the man has lost.
Kweli.
The things that the man has lost is now what now brings in the emotional distress.
Sasa asante, umezungumzia vizuri na ukaelezea kwa upana emotional distress ambayo inakuja wakati wa ndoa. Ningependa urejee na uweze sasa kupatia na practical examples za huyo mtu ambaye yuko katika emotional distress. Mume sasa umeachwa. Sasa ni wewe uachike. Lakini hiyo hali ya kuachika ndio changamoto kubwa sana ya wanaume wale ambao wanatutazama pale. Ningependa upeane 3 practical ways. Sababu tungependa ule mume yuko pale nje. Awache asifikirie kujitia kitanzi. Bado tunahitaji huyo mume akuwe pamoja nasi. Asifike hali ile ambaye anaua paka mke wake na watoto. Sababu ya ile chuki na kuingiwa na hali ya kwamba vile huyu amenifanyia sitampa muda afanyie mwingine. Practical steps ambazo mwanaume huyu anaweza kuchukua. Kwa mfano labda angeenda kotini aweze kuona kwamba koti ndio umesema kwamba sheria kidogo inalalia wanaume. Lakini kuna vile ambavyo mwanaume akienda aonyeshane kwamba yeye ndio ambaye amekuwa muhadhiriwa. Na amesononeka kwa miaka mingi. Jaji anaweza angalia hiyo kesi na aone kwamba huyu mwanaume anafaa. Kwa hivyo mwanaume aelewe kwamba aondokee hizo social stereotypes. Mambo mila na desturi ya Kiafrika na mambo kama hayo. Aweze kujua bado katika giza hii ambayo ako nayo ya separation ama katika divorce, aweze kujua bado kuna mwangaza pale mbele. Karibu.
If as a man you've gone through divorce and you want to heal from this, there are various ways that you can do this. Unfortunately, the majority of human, you run into behaviors, impulsive behaviors that are actually going to lead into more challenges and problems than what you already have, or what you already have on the table, what you are dealing with, which is now separation or divorce. Because most men will go into drugs, others will go into revenge. Revenge meaning that I'll sleep with 5 women every day in the streets. And so that now puts you in more chaos instead of helping you solve the problem. There's something that I want, men, first of all, I want us to look at facts. Even before we go into the shallow stuff, I want us to look at something very deep, especially for a man. This world, the one that you write so much, the one that we live in, the world will make sure that by the end of the day, by the end of the last few seconds of your life, you not have anything. You will not die with anything. You are going to lose it all, whether you like it or not. You are going to lose everything. So losing now hurts a little bit more because now you get to see her and your kids walking in the streets, and there's nothing much you can do about that. Even if you meet her being kissed by another man, well, the divorce happened, so I used to kiss her and she used to taste a little bit sweet, but now it's another man enjoying that, so that gets to hurt you. But the fact remains that by the end of the day, by the end of it all, you will walk out of this world with nothing. So I think it should be a plus, it should be an advantage that now you get to taste losing something before you now lose yourself. Because if you lose yourself towards the end when now you die, and you have already grown through the experience of losing something that was dear to you, then that to me sounds like a very good class where you can learn some good stuff. So try to take this separation or the divorce, number one, as a class, as a learning session, you know. So try to learn, number one, how not to get too attached. Because if there is something divorce is going to teach you, is don't get too close into the fire. It's going to burn you. So learning how not to get too much attached to anything, not just anyone, but anything. Because everything you are attached to, whether you like it or not, at some point, it's going to leave you. You're not going to have it for the rest of your life. So you learn how to detach. Even when you decide to go to the next relationship, you have learned your lesson. Don't get too much to the fire. It burns when you get too close. So you don't get too much attached. Number 2, as a man, when it comes to the divorce, you need to stop focusing on really what you have lost and focus on this one thing that is most important, and that is yourself. Because you can, the time you've lost resources, you've lost your kids, you've lost your wife, you've lost everything, but you still have you. You are the most important thing that you need.
Yes.
I'm saying thing. Maybe at some point we understand why I say thing. You are the most important thing that you need above everything else. The most important thing you need to make sure that you don't lose yourself. Because the moment you lose yourself, nothing else you have can be of any relevance. The moment you lose yourself, nothing else you have can be of any benefit, any value, any significance. So the most and the very most important thing, don't lose yourself. It's okay to lose a family. You can always have another one. But don't lose yourself. So again, now this is where now I talk to men and tell them, talk to someone. Not the guys you usually buy a few bottles when you go to the pub. No, those ones are not going to help you, and especially when they are drunk. No, they will not. They will just tell you, ongezwa ingine. Ona kale kasichana, enda utoe machungu na hako. Enda ulipe hako few thousands, enda urale na kenyewe, utatoa hiyo machungu yenye unasikia. So, you need to go to the right people who are going to help you. Someone who is going to be sober. And by sober, I mean someone who is not going to lean on any side. True. You dare go to your mother-in-law, you are the devil. The daughter is the angel. You go to your mother, she is the devil, you are the angel. You go to your friends who loves you so much, your wife becomes the devil, you become the angel. So you want to go to the person who is going to stand on a neutral ground. Someone who is not going to lean on your wife's side, and someone who is not going to lean on your side. And you cannot really go through, it may not really help you so much, as we talked about that. A counselor will really help you to resolve those psychological issues that you are going through. Because, for example, if you come to me as a counselor, we have never met, I don't know your wife, I don't know you, so I have nowhere to lean. You know, if it's a counselor who knows your wife, maybe she would be like, that girl was beautiful, so she might decide to show you how evil she is and how bad she is, and then after 3 months, the counselor is sending you a wedding card because bibi yako alikuwa mrembo sana na alikuwa anamjua. But now when you go to, on a light note, but now when you go to someone who is on a neutral ground, that is the only person who can best help you. Because this person is not leaning on any side, and they are here to focus on what you are going through as a man. So, by all means possible, break all the stereotypes, live beyond all the stigma, whatever the society says you should and you shouldn't do. Don't care too much about that. Why? Today you are hurting. My friend, my brother, today you are hurting because of that separation, because of that divorce. And you keep referencing to the societal definition and the stereotypes and the stigma about men in separation and divorce. How many of your society members are coming to help you resolve the hurt that is going through, that you are going through? How many from your society, hata huyo mzee wa kijiji amekuja kukuliwaza, kukuambia, pole mwanaume usijali, everything is going to be okay. You are using their definitions and their meanings of who you should be and who you should not be, what you should do and what you should not do. But those definitions and meanings are actually working against you. They are the ones which are actually hurting you even more deeply. And the same guys who came up with those rules, they don't care whether you are crying or smiling. They don't care whether you are hurting or healing or suffering. They don't care. They are busy out there. Yes, they are busy out there living their best life with their wives, with their kids, and doing all manner of things, minding their business. So you need to stop using the societal definitions, the societal perceptions, the societal meanings of what a divorce is, what a separation is. What as a man you should do upon divorce or separation. You also need to forget about the Bible a little bit, especially on that verse that says God hates divorce. I think God loves you more than he hates divorce. I think when you put God on the middle and then you put divorce on this side and you on the other side, he's going to love you more than he hates divorce. So by the end of the day, you win. So don't stay in a marriage or in a relationship where you are getting hurt, where you are suffering, simply because God hates divorce. He loves you more than he hates divorce. So let us as men Not only encourage each other to seek help, but be there for each other, non-judgmentally. Mwanaume asikuje kukuambia kitu, alafu kesho mkienda kwa football, unaanza kusema hapa timu kamechapwa kama venye Kimani anachapwa na bibi yake. Now again, it's not going, you know, you feel attacked, you know. Hako timu kanaigizwa venye huyu amekuwa akiigizwa makofi na magumi na bibi yake. So it's going to hurt you even more. So you want to talk to someone. You want to talk to someone who is going to help you, someone who is going to genuinely get into your shoes and help you resolve what you are going through. So don't keep quiet. Don't keep quiet. Just talk.
Asante mshauri nasaha. Napenda kushukuru wapendwa vile ambavyo umeendelea kuwa pamoja nasi, na wale ambao ni wageni. Leo tunazungumzia kuhusu divorce na separation, hasa effects zake ambazo zinapata wanaume na nini hasa huchangia. Na wengi wametumaini ya kwamba wale ambao wamekuwa kitutazama wameweza kupata mawili matatu, na kama wewe uko katika hiyo hali, basi unayo suluhu. Sababu tayari mshauri na saa ametuambia, he has given us 3 practical ways ambazo we can be able to get out of it, na tuelewa kwamba hiyo sio maisha. We still have something at the end of it. Sasa ili tuweze kutamatisha, ningependa kurejea kwako na uweze kumalizia na kupatia mwanaume kuweza kujua kwamba hii hali inatokea. Tumezungumzia sana kwanza, na kwanza umeigusa na ukasema kwamba wanaume wengi wanajipata katika mahusiano hayo sababu kuna jambo ambayo hawakuipata wakati walipokuwa kileo. Kwa hivyo napenda kurejea kwa walezi wa vijana, the boy child. Elewa kwamba the boy child, malezi yake ni muhimu sana, sababu his future inakuwa determined na malezi yale ambayo anayapata wakati anapolewa. Na tumeona katika haya mahusiano, katika hizi ndoa ambazo zinakuwa toxic ama zimeingiliwa na sumu, na ambazo wanaume wanakuwa separated, utapata mwanaume huyo kuna ule udhaifu kidogo ulikuwa ndani yake. Na ni vyema wale ambao ni walezi wa vijana, watoto wa vijana, waelewe kwamba kijana huyo achungwa sana, hii mambo isije kumpata wakati anapoingia katika ndoa. Na hii nataka kuzungumzia wanaume wengine, na ndio sababu katika chumba cha mawaidha tunaleta show kama hizi, ili wewe kama wewe ulipitia hiyo hali ngumu na ukupata hayo mafundisho, basi chumba cha mawaidha kiko hapo ili iweze kukuelezea, na ili usije ukaendelea kusononeka ama tusisikie mke mwingine pia ameangamia ama umejitia kitanzi sababu ya mambo yale ambao umepitia. Na wengi wametumaini kwamba hii show leo imeweza kukupatia njia zile ambazo unaweza chukua ili hiyo hali isiwe ni hali ambayo italeta maafa ama itaendelea kuathiri wewe mtu ambaye ni mwisho. Tukienda kumalizia show, ningependa useme jambo moja kuhusu wale ambao wako katika separation na katika divorce. Wanaweza kufanya nini? Na kama wanaweza kukufikia, ni vyema pia waweze kupatia na hiyo nambari ya simu. Karibu.
Naam, asante. So when divorce happens, and as a man, don't keep going back to a dead relationship simply because of the status, the societal status, that you don't want people to see you as the guy who got divorced or the guy who divorced. That's not going to help. So let us accept things as they happen. Divorce has happened, let it happen. Separation has happened, let it happen. And I always tell you, especially men, that everything that is happening in your life is always there's always a lesson that you can learn from it. So instead of focusing too much on what you've lost, what you don't like that is happening, what you like that is not happening or happening, stop focusing on that. Ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? What can I learn from this so that this situation doesn't have to repeat itself until I learn the lesson? And sometimes you find yourself as a man, you keep being in cycle. You keep being in a cycle. You break up with one woman, the next morning you call her, you get back. You find yourself in the cycle of
broken relationships, broken marriage, dysfunctional relationships, dysfunctional marriages. The situation is repeating itself because there's still something that you are so reluctant to run. Until you run that, my friend, it's most likely going to repeat itself. So when separation and divorce has happened, even breakup, accept it. Let it happen. Don't try to resist that. Saying, I never saw it coming. You didn't have to see it coming so that it can happen or not happen. Actually, most of the things that happens in our life, we never saw them coming. So whether you saw it coming or not, whether you were ready for it or not, whether you wanted it to happen or not, it has happened, it has happened. Don't resist it, just let it be as it is and seek help. So for those men who grew up in environments where there is a deficiency of something, there could be a deficiency of love, or growing up you never received enough love. You never had a mother growing up. And so when you are looking for a girl to marry, your interest is not on the girl, you are interested on the mother you can get in the girl. So you're looking for a mother who you never had growing up, or you're looking for something else that you never had enough, or you are growing up. So as a man, if you know there's a deficiency of something, or you are growing up, and up to this point as an adult, you have not been able yet to compensate that, or to fill that void, don't do it in marriage, because it is going to break the marriage. Because the marriage is not a place, it's not a healing ground. No. That's not. You are supposed to get into a marriage when you are a complete healed guy. So you go to heal in the marriage, you break it. So that's now where I'm saying you need to seek help. So that you don't find yourself demanding for something from the marriage or from your partner. And so you're going to make them tired, you're going to make them feel like you are becoming a burden, and the relationship or the marriage is going to die. So let us learn how to seek help as men. And we always help men, and especially at the Newness Counseling Organization, where we even have an association for men, basically for men. We call it Newness Brotherhood Association. We talk about men stuff. When you, as a man, you're going through something, that's the place where you come and tell us, men, I'm going through this. And then we help you process the thing you are going through. We help you heal from that. So I'd like to give you my contact so that if you'd like to have a one-on-one session with me, my office is just around here, Thika Road. Pale panaitwa Kenyatta Road. Ukikuja hapo around Thika Road, Kenyatta Road, utanipata tu hapo kwa ofisi. We can get to talk. At the same time, there's the same number that you can use if you'd like us or you'd like me to add you to the Newness Brotherhood group so that you can learn from fellow men, see that whatever you are going through, you are not the only person. There are other men who are going through that, so that you may not suffer in silence or suffer alone, but we can help you. This is my number, 0713 550 493. 0713 550 493. You call that number, you get the help you are looking for. Thank you, Bazuu.
Okay. Asante sana mtazamaji na mshauri nasaha, umeweza kumalizia kwa uzuri, na tuna wengi wa matumaini kwamba wale ambao walikuwa wakitutazama wameweza kuelewa mawili matatu. Naelewa kwamba leo tulikuwa tunazungumzia hasa wanaume wale ambao wameathirika sababu ya kuwa katika mahusiano ambayo ni toxic na pia narcissistic.
Yeah.
Na tunapenda kushukuru watazamaji wetu, na naona Daniel Tutsi amesema pia women, anasema women also lose a lot because they are also supporting the family financially, and the same men are not doing their part. Those men who are left without a warning should check out what went wrong. Asante for that comment. We thank you, Daniel, for that. We'll be talking about this maybe in our next show, but today we were zeroing on a man who has been living in a toxic relationship, and he has been doing his part. Although Shauri Nassar talked about finances being the last straw that broke the camel, but we are talking about that man who has been providing. And some even leave houses for their wives so that they can just leave them and separate because of the kind of toxic marriage that they are in. But thank you so much for that comment. We'll be able to mitigate that in our next show that we'll be bringing to you shortly. So tumefika mwisho wa show yetu, na asante sana mshauri na saa kwa kuweza kuja, na nadhania ule mume ambaye yuko pale nje sasa ni wewe ufanye tu maamuzi yako. Leo we have removed the stigma, we have removed that stereotype, mila na desturi. It's culturally inasema in most Kenyan communities, Luo, Kikuyu, Kamba, Luhya, you are taught as a man to be strong, be silent. Crying, talking or seeking therapy is seen as weakness. It is not weakness if you are going to kill your family. It is not weakness if you cannot be able to talk about it. Talk about it. It does not reduce your manhood. Your manhood still remains when you talk to somebody. We still want you to be around, my brother. So don't sulk. Ongea. And Mshauri Nassar has given us his number. You can be able to call them. Call him and you'll be able to open up a new leaf. Elewa kwamba your setback is also a setup. So wanaume wale mko pale, you've sucked sababu uko kwa divorce, uko kwa separation. They still live out there. Wanawake bado wanatafuta wanaume. Yes. Si ndio na wengine wanataka hata wanaweza hata kukubeba. So usikae tu hapo. They're there, you can be able to move on. So welcome so much. Hii ni Chumba cha Mawaidha. This is Bazuu the wise man. Tunashukuru sana mmekuwa pamoja nasi. Show leo imekuwa lit sana, na tunashukuru wale wapenzi ambao wanatufuata katika mitandao. Kama umechelewa kuona show hii yetu, unaweza rejelea katika YouTube, ni Ezra Christian TV, na show inaitwa Chumba cha Mawaidha. Na katika Facebook pia tuko nayo. Pia katika TikTok utapata katika account za Mshauri Nassar utapata short videos ambazo zinakuelekeza tuwa mitandao ya kijamii. So asanteni sana, na ningependa kushukuru my producer Kim Proper. Asante kwa kuweza kushikilia mitambo. Mkurugenzi wangu Ann ambaye ametujalia heri tuweze kuona hii show iko mzuri, na mama yetu ambaye ametupatia nafasi hii ya kuweza kupeperusha show moto kama hii. Mungu awabariki na watende mema. Hadi Ijumaa ijayo saa 9 nataka kumalizia na msemo, yaliyopita si ndwele, tugange yajayo.